audience is comfortable. So does anyone need any slippers? Also, I've got to make sure that you don't see that I'm nervous at all. So if you'd just like to close your eyes for the next 15 minutes, we're on it. Yeah, well, my name's Andrea. What can I tell you about me? I'm always smiling. I'm always laughing. I'm always telling a joke. Which might be the reason why I was fired from the funeral home. I've just turned 43. 43? Can you bloody believe it? Where the hell's that time gone? When I was in my 20s, I thought 40 was really, really old. But now I'm 43. Do you know, I still feel young. I still feel like I've got vitality. I don't think it's old at all. So get this, on my 43rd birthday, I got a card through the post. Slightly opened it. And it said, have you been saving for your funeral costs? Shit! Yeah, well, that's the X for you. P.S. Happy birthday. But I do think when you start to get to your mid-40s, you do start to realise that you're not invincible anymore. And like, strange thoughts pop into your head sometimes. I was almost in a car crash the other day, and as the two cars hurtled towards each other to almost an inevitable crash, the first thought that came into my head at that exact precise moment was, shit, what have I done with the vibrator? But I broke heavily, and I got my answer, because it rolled from the back of the car and underneath the accelerator, so phew, everything was alright then. The thing is though, we're not meant to talk about these things at a comedy night, because it's a bit morbid, but I think it's important that you put your choices in place should anything bad happen to you, right? My family, for example, know that I would like my remains to be scattered over the front garden of Piers Morgan's house. And I don't want to be cremated. That'll teach him for taking the piss out of vegans. See how you like that, mate? I thought the kind of music that I want playing at my funeral as well. Yeah, I was really into Britpop, so it's got to be something from the 90s. And it's the Lars, There She Goes. Can you remember it? So I want to be cremated, so that'd be in the coffin, on the conveyor belt. Then start, there she goes. Then stop the music, bring back the conveyor belt, and start again. There she goes again. And then, as the curtain close, I think it's time to change tempo then. Got to change it, got to be a little bit R&B. I don't know, thinking something like Alicia Keys. She's just a girl and she's on fire. So me and my ex have decided to call it a day.
Aww.
That day is Thursday. Which is a bit of a shit name to call a baby, but we wanted a celebrity name for our baby, you know, like they have them a little bit different. We had thought of other names as well. And so we'd have a little girl, and we were going to call her something seasonal, like spring, summer, August the 17th. Somebody suggested that we should name the child after where he was conceived. But I think over the kitchen sink sounds like a bit of a mouthful. Ironically, if it had have been, wouldn't have needed a baby name. And then somebody else suggested that I should name him after his daddy. Oh, trouble is I didn't get the Asda delivery driver's name. So we're stuck with Thursday for the next 18 years at least. But me and my ex have, in fact, split up. That's why I call him the X. He's not out with the X-Men. And we've decided to stay friends, which I think shows a level of maturity that is missing in a lot of people these days. And when I say that we remain in friends, we don't see each other anymore. We don't call each other anymore. We just stalk each other on Facebook to see who's got a better life. Liking each other's pictures but secretly hating everything about them. Secretly hating the achievements they've got in life. You know, like the majority of your Facebook friends. I did this really embarrassing thing the other day, shit. Have you ever had that thing where you've got to send a text and you're out of signal, you're at the area signal, and you send it and it comes back with this little message that says, message unable to resend. And you end up sending it, yeah. And you sent multiple texts, yeah. God, so embarrassing. We'd only just split up. And I ended up sending him 100 text. Jesus, it made my really, really innocent text look really sinister. Well, I would do it if you got 100 of them, but it was really innocent. I mean, see what you think. All I put was, if you leave it today, I won't kill myself. And now he thinks I'm mental. Bless his heart. You know, I've been single for a long time now. In fact, I've been so single for so long, single for so long, that they started to call me the York Spinster. And I don't really mind at all. I like being single, it's fine. But you do find that you get two reactions when you tell people that you've never been married and you're in your 40s. The first one is they think it's catching, so they don't want to come anywhere near you. You might catch singleton, you might catch spinster, you might catch desperation by osmosis. Second one is that people can be really patronising. Oh, you're doing so well on your own. I don't know how you cope. Like you're a 90-year-old with dementia. I only set fire to that kitchen once. Even the police can be patronising. I went to the police station to report a crime, and they took my statement down and went, "What's your maiden name?" I said, "Watson. I've never been married." He went, "Right, but you're living with somebody, yeah?" And I went, "No, never lived with anyone. Still single." Yeah. Put his pen down, looked him on the side and went, "Don't worry, love. He's out there somewhere. He's just round the next corner." I said, "That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm being stalked." He went, "See? Things are looking up already." See, I don't mind being single. I don't think that you need another person to complete you. I'm absolutely fine on my own. I don't mind telling you, I haven't had sex in over 3 years. Well, except for that sunny afternoon in July 2017. That was only because I'd run out of change for the window cleaner. But I did read an article the other day and it really got me here. It was awful. There was a woman in Texas. She'd been in a coma for 10 years. And then she had a baby. Oh my God, that's awful. Even women in comas are having more sex than me. So I thought it was about time I did something about it. So I thought of the kind of guy that I want to bring into my life. And it's got to be somebody who's loyal, who's unconditional love, a little bit like my dog. And someone who's so excited every time you come home, he's got a slight erection. That's what I want, because, to be honest, my love life hasn't been very good. And the best relationship I've had in the last few years has been with my sex toys. It really has. They're so much better than my ex. Because they don't hog the remote control, doesn't fart in bed, doesn't complain when you're hanging out with other sex toys. Granted, I am still embarrassed to be seen with it in public like I was my ex. Especially at the scene of a car crash. Yeah, I don't mind at all. I think they're really good. The only thing is, right, weirdly compared to my ex, it was slightly less embarrassing introducing the vibrator to my parents. My dad absolutely loves it. Said it's like the son he's never had, which really pisses off my brother. After every Sunday we go around for lunch, he goes off with it into the shed for hours on end. I think watching the football by the sounds of it. But yeah, that's the way it goes. So my friends have decided that they're going to step in, this is enough. And they said that I need to go on some blind dates, they've been setting them up for me. And also, they suggested that I try internet dating. And they came up with one of them, bless her heart, and she said that I should try Zoopla. Oh Lord, I don't know which one she meant, but yeah, I've listed myself as vintage and homely, in need of a touch-up in places, garden's overgrown, would be ideally suited to a builder, and is deceptively spacious and vacant. You can be here in a week. My parents have decided that they would try and help as well, bless their hearts. They're so desperate to get me married at this stage of the evening, except Prince Andrew. But I would always be worried that he'd be after someone younger, so no chance. Yeah, but my parents, bless their heart, They're always getting things wrong, especially my mum. Yeah, she always gets things wrong. She said that when she went swimming, that she was had stinging eyes because there was too much chloroform in the water. She told me she had trouble getting upstairs, which is really worrying because she lives in a bungalow. She said that when she had her hip replacement, I said, are they going to give you a general anaesthetic? She went, no, they like to keep you alive these days while you're doing an operation. Those doctors killing you while they're doing operations now. She said she was very proud of me because I wrote a really good thesis at university. And she's given me some hints on stand-up comedy as well. She says that I've got to be very confident and not self-defecating. Try my best, Mum. But I might get nervous, you never know. But she does like to help with... My nephew turned 18 just recently, and we went out for a meal with him. And my dear Mum turned around to him while we were eating. She went, Charlie, darling, have you ever had a boner? There was a silence across the table as we look. My poor nephew going bright red. It's all right, we're all adults now, we're open-minded. Have you ever had a boner? Have you ever had a boner on a night out? Have you ever seen your friend with a boner and wanted to try it? We're all, what? She went, have you ever tried a boner in private? What? Mum, in your world, what is boner? She went, it's a cigarette that they put Marajam in. That's a joint. She went, joint, bone, same thing. No, it's not. But the ultimate thing that they did wrong, because they're so innocent, I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. My mum used to be a Sunday school teacher and my dad used to be a Gideon. And they came together with a love of Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and all things swing. So they were delighted when a new couple moved into the village and invited them to a swingers' night. It was near Christmas as well, and they went dressed as Mary and Joseph. That is the level of naivety. And I got a phone call the next day going, oh my God, the noises, they were like animals. I'm so sorry, Mum, that you went to a wife swapping party. Did you leave immediately when you realised? Well, I was going to. But they put on a lovely spread and no one was eating the olive ones. Do you remember? Don't worry, we weren't the only ones who got it wrong. Our family doctor was there as well. Are you joking? You went, no, he just liked to talk about the royal family, so it ended up being quite delightful in the end. Didn't think anything more about that until a couple of months later when our family doctor was struck off. Apparently he'd been piercing people's private parts in secret in the surgery. It made all the national press. So we got one of the papers, we were reading out the article to my mum. And she went, well, you'd think that no. I went, who? She went, the people that went in. But the people that went in made the appointment to have those piercings done. They didn't go in secret and the doctor go, cold, I've just got the acupuncture point for you. You were having a shower in the night and go, oh, where the dickens did that come from? So I said, Mum, when you were talking to the doctor about the royal family, was it Prince Albert by any chance? She went, yes, that's right. Bless her heart. So, can't rely on my friends, can't rely on my parents to get me anyone, and I'm a bit useless as well. The last date I went on, the guy said that he was a Bee Gee. He said that he travelled the whole world as a Bee Gee, but he didn't like to talk about it. He'd met Tom Hanks when he was a Bee Gee, but he didn't like to talk about it. He'd been on yachts as a Bee Gee, but he didn't like to talk about it. Jesus Christ, it's the only thing he wants to talk about. But I knew he wasn't a real Bee Gee, because I know who they are, and two of them are dead, and he's definitely not Morris. It was really bothering me in the end. I knew he didn't want to talk about it, but I went, you're going to have to tell me which of the Bee Gees you were. And what are you talking about? Well, you keep going on about being a Bee Gee. I said, and you're small, short, bald, stocky, and from Wigan, and it doesn't compute. Bodyguard. Ah, makes more sense, because he did look like a squashed Jason Stratham. I know you mean Jason, what's his face? I always get his name wrong. But he did, Jason Stratham looks just round our window cleaner, just round our way. But I went on this date with him. And do you ever fancy somebody so much that your motor skills disappear? So you can't speak properly, you can't talk properly. You know, you go to take a glass of wine and it dribbles down your chin. Have you ever had that? Yeah, I had mine so bad that it looked like I'd just had a stroke. I went to take a glass of wine and my brain told me to tip it right about here. I was wearing bright white trousers as well, new ones, and I ended up with this great big red stain here. So, excuse me, I'm going to have to run to the bathroom. So I ran to the bathroom, got some soap off the soap dispenser, started vigorously cleaning when a woman walked in. I'm sorry, it's not what it looks like. Told her what had happened, bless her heart, she came over, she went to the soap dispenser. There's two of us now in the bathroom, really vigorously going at my thigh, and another woman came in and going, it's not what it looks like. Now ladies, you will know this, that going into the ladies' toilets is a sanctuary of solidarity. You tell them what's going on and they will help you. So the girl ran out, she got me a glass of white wine and she threw it over me. Just made me smell of a brewery, didn't get rid of it. We ended up with this really soggy trouser leg and we tried to get it dry under the hairdryer, which was no mean feat because it was a Dyson Airblade. And then I had to go out, and this is where the date gets weird. Because when I came out, he was looking really mad. And oh God, was I in there too long? And he went, no, it's not that. I was meant to be at a security conference tonight and I ditched it to go for a date with you for assault. But my boss has phoned and I told him I was with somebody a lot higher up than me. I've told him I was with someone from MI5 and he doesn't believe me and we've got to go and meet him right now. What? He says now, and I've got this pink, white, soggy leg. My foot is squelching. He's going, come on, we've got to go. So I'm walking out. My motor skills still haven't come back, so it looks like he's drugged me with Red. I walk to this conference meeting and meet the boss. And he says, no. He says, before you go in, this is really vital that you tell him I'm in MI5. You tell him that you're in MI5. He says, because I could lose my job. This is huge. God, the pressure. Pressure. So I go in and he goes, hi, who are you? He said, hi, I'm Andrea. And he goes, and what do you do? I work for MI5. So boyfriend was completely silent and then he did this machine gun like, ah! That's her joke! That's her joke! So they all start laughing and go, that's a good one, we'll remember that. What are you working on at the moment? I said, no, I can't divulge that kind of information. Fair enough, shouldn't have asked. That's all it takes for people to believe you're in MI5. I had a pink, soggy white leg, and all I said is I can't talk about it. I didn't know how to get out of the lie, unfortunately. I'm very polite, so I've been working for them for the last 3 years, deep undercover. I mean, I don't want to boast or anything, but I don't know if you saw it in the news that the security threat went from severe to substantial. Is that a coincidence? I think not. Got a text coming through. Oh, brilliant! Yeah, I've got a viewing right now. So I'm going to go and see him, see what he's like. He seems to have all the credentials I want. But if he wipes his arse on the floor, I'm out of there. So thank you very much. You're going to have an interval.